Usually, sequels are planned to be released in an ordered process. The standard lead time is between 2 or 3 years. Sometimes there are delays which can push it out. Then there's also the rushed ones, where a film is pumped out in a little longer than a year's length. To do that is nuts, but it's been proven to be done. For George A. Romero, it seems he truly went at his own pace when it came to making his movies. Even though Romero had worked on other films in between the dead entries, the intervals at which each film came out was almost consecutively 10 years apart. That's a long time. Weirdly enough, it seems the remakes of his films are following the same path, despite him not even being involved. While Night of the Living Dead from 1990 was an amicable update to the original, it did have some issues. Almost 15 years later came this sequel. It's about the same, but for some different reasons. The setup to the story is the same as the original, involving a bunch of strangers taking refuge in an abandoned shopping mall after the world is turned upside down with undead corpses attacking the living. This was directed by newcomer at the time Zack Snyder, who is now best known for several comic book related films. Before this, Snyder was directing music videos, similar to Michael Bay's Startup before turning action director. The screenplay was written by James Gunn, the same person who is also best known for his array of comic book films too. Before this, though, there was hesitation for him writing for this production. Reason being that his biggest credit at the time was penning the script for the live-action Scooby-Doo film. And of course, most know pretty well how that movie did with viewers and fans alike. The cast of actors to play these everyday people are Anna, played by Sarah Polley, a nurse; Kenneth, played by Ving Rhames, a cop; Michael, played by Jake Weber, a TV salesman; Andre, played by Mekhi Phifer, and Luda, played by Ina Korobkina; and CJ, played by Michael Kelly, a security guard to the mall, along with his rookie, Terry, played by Kevin Zegers. Together, these main characters spend most of their time in the mall. There, they learn about their histories as well as how to cope with what's around them, and support each other. This script includes way more characters in general than that of the original, but it works out okay. Gunn even has a couple twists in the story that can play to the opposite to what viewers may expect for certain characters. Sarah Polley is a good lead, and that being her character as a nurse, growing accustomed to the horrors around her seemed easier to handle. The same could be said for Ving Rhames as the cop. Jake Weber, although plays what seems like a wimpy character, quickly toughens up. And of all the thespians, the actor who has the best lines and best character arc goes to Michael Kelly. Clearly it looked like he had the most fun. However, this does not totally omit any typical character tropes seen in other horror films. Two good examples of this are Mekhi Phifer's role and Ty Burrell as some snobby rich guy. Guess one can't avoid all the pitfalls. Yet casting director Joseph Middleton was able to nab Ken Foree, Tom Savini, and Scott H. Reininger from the original film for cameos. Very nice. Still, there is one other thing that's a bit odd that likely was not mentioned in any other zombie film which was raised here. Apparently dogs can run circles around zombies and not be seen as food? That's something new. Why is that? Unanswered question. Additionally, the zombies in this film are far more aggressive as opposed to all others featured before. They run now. Visually, as Snyder fans would come to know and love, the film is very good looking. The special effects look mostly practical, which is good, because even for 2004, CGI didn't always look real. Behind the camera was Matthew F. Leonetti, a cinematographer with quite a history behind him. Before this, he had worked on Raise the Titanic, Poltergeist, Hard to Kill, and Rush Hour 2. Finally, the film score was composed by Tyler Bates. For this project, Bates had the chance to make something of the franchise, being that none of the films ever had a signature identity. He didn't do that though, but managed to still create themes that worked for the scenes. Before this, Bates' most notable credit was to another remake by the name of Get Carter, another film from the 1970s. For a remake, it entertains surprisingly well, even though there are still some regular cliches the genre will come across. These small flaws are made up for through the actors' performances, the music, special effects, and camera work.